So, I'm joined by the full management team tonight. Alex and Ryan in the same room, being nice to each other for at least the duration of this interview, which is a good start. And we thought we'd catch up. We haven't had Whitey's wisdom over the weekend because we have the game lost, but also it's a good opportunity to do a sort of half-season, half-term report. So you can give people a summary of where you think we're at now and where we'd like to be at the end of the season. So, through the interviews that we've done over the course of the season so far, I mean, you've been saying, both of you, it's been up and down. We've had some games where we've shown the sort of really what we're about, other games that have been a bit harder. How are you feeling now as we're coming into the floodlands of January?
Content, I guess, for me. That's probably just where we are. Excited in a sense because we've got a lot in the next month, haven't we, that's going to define our season, particularly the next few weeks. But I think I've said on previous interviews, we're probably where we should be. I think we have a hint of regret because we started the season slow, which is annoying because we did the same thing last season, didn't we?
Every season. October, November, and then we sort of just kick on a little bit.
Yeah.
And was that around, I know you said about recruitment's been a bit harder this year in terms of getting people on board, or maybe people not coming on board quite as early in the pre-season as you would have liked. Has that been a factor as well?
Is a major factor in it. I think our availability over the summer, we didn't really have a proper pre-season. So many people on holiday and bits like that. And we purposely kept the squad small, which in hindsight it was probably too small. But whilst recruitment was hard, we were quite ambitious with our recruitment, weren't we? And the ones that we didn't quite get through the door, we couldn't quite get into those plan Bs and plan Cs, so we ran with a smaller squad, which is great because it gave young ones.
I think maybe we were aiming a bit too high with a few, weren't we? And it didn't come off, and then it's got plan B, like you said, I guess. So.
Yeah, but that aside, the squads we had start the season were definitely good enough to compete. I don't know whether it was a mentality thing or we couldn't quite find our rhythm. We ended the season really well last year, but we were really set in the system we were playing, weren't we, and the way we were playing, and coming back into the start of a new season, really like Cam Salmon-Down, for example, who was a massive part in the way we played last year. He was out for the first sort of 4 or 5 months.
Glenn was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so we had a few.
But we never really found our rhythm and got going. It was a very stop-start. So yeah, that's where the regret comes from. But I think we've got progressively better. We found a way of playing that's starting to suit us now, and a lot more consistent in the shape and the team that we're putting out. And it's starting to get there. In the last month or two, whilst it's been a bit stop-start in terms of games, the performance has been pretty good. And now it's the next couple of weeks, definitely, with the 2 cup games and the run of league games.
We've got a load of midweek games coming up now, haven't we? So
the cancellations have gone into midweek, so that's going to make the January, February, depending on what happens with the weather now, that's going to make it quite a congested time. From the first half of the season, then, what would be for both of you your sort of high point, maybe low point, if you were to?
Well, the low point's quite easy, isn't it? The summer's day away at Falmouth.
Yeah, that was definitely low. Yeah,
that was like playing in Qatar, wasn't it? In the middle of summer, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of a reality check for us, that one, because it just didn't quite feel right around that time with the way we were trying to do things, and that, going down there, the heat was a big factor and the journey wasn't great, but we find ourselves falling down inside 20 minutes we had a very
injury after 10.
Yeah, we had a very honest, we call it honest conversation. Conversation's probably a bit of a tame word, but we had a real proper chat at half-time, should we say, or a reality check as to where we are and the way we wanted to move
I think
forwards.
if you might have had sunstroke that day.
It was hot.
It was.
It was
the
really
way they
hot.
played first 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah,
they
but
were
then
on the beach.
Yeah, but then off the back of that, we came in here, didn't we, and did a video analysis session that first half, and the boys' input was fantastic into that, really, really good. And then from there, we've got a lot better. So that was definitely sort of the low point. But it's good because we needed to have it.
I think Cirencester Cup games were good, weren't they? I think that was a high point where we competed really well with the
I think with those games there wasn't much to look at between the sides at all, and we could have.
I think away game.
That first away game,
It shows where we can get to, doesn't it? And that's been a sort of theme throughout the season as to what we can
It's
do.
consistency, though, isn't it? Week in, week out, getting to that level, I suppose. That's why we are where we are.
All the cup games have been pretty good, but I think for me the high was probably Wellington at home, because we were terrible that game. We were so poor. We weren't.
I don't think Popey will agree with you there.
As it was football emotions, isn't it? But and that's probably why. It's because we were such a bad place at the time. We weren't playing well. We got battered that game by Welly, and we were 3-1 down with, what was it, 2 minutes to go or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And coming back to score 3 quick goals and win 4-3, and that's when I spoke about football emotion. And then it sort of just kick-started us. It gave us just a bit of fire in the belly, a bit of passion and a bit of grit that I think has stayed with us since. And there's definitely that game was, I would say, it's been the turning point of our season so far. From all of us, really.
Yeah, it takes something like that, doesn't it? You
Yeah.
know, just to kick-start, and like you say, losing, playing poorly, and suddenly winning. It just everything changes so quickly.
It shows what you can do if you
Yeah.
things work your way, isn't it? When
Yeah,
you push
yeah.
it. So looking forward for the second half of the season. I mean, have you set any particular kind of goals, aims? Either so put it down in public so we can chastise you when you miss it all at the end of the season. No,
Or stick to beat me with.
Go on,
it.
yeah.
But I mean, have you got anything in mind in terms of where you want to see us towards the end of the season, and what you're thinking of looking at towards the highlights for the second half?
I think we've got to be realistic, haven't we? It'd be very easier to sit here and say we want to hit this, and you can set yourself up to fail to do that. But I think we've got to stay in both cup competitions as long as we can. They kind of become the priority for us now at the moment, don't they?
It drags the season longer, and it makes everyone want to be involved for longer. And cup competitions are really good, aren't they? Especially the Vars.
Yeah.
We can win on Saturday and
We're
get to the 5th round, is it?
we're not going to sit here and say we want to be at Wembley or expect to be at Wembley or anything like that. Well, you will, but just create memories. I think in that competition, the more memories we can create, and then the Les Phillips Cups, we missed a really big opportunity last season that we felt to actually win some silverware, and suddenly this club hasn't had a lot of at senior level. It hasn't had a lot at the youth level, but at senior level it's been a bit starved of success. So that would be
We've got Wellington at home again.
Yeah, third time, wasn't it?
I know, it's becoming a regular habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be
That'll
very
be
good.
interesting. They'll be definitely up for that one.
Yeah, they
In terms of the league, I mean, it's difficult because you've got one or two clubs that seem to have gone sort of raced off ahead a little bit. Then there's a bit of a crush behind. Almost we're in that crush, so we could end up being, I don't know, 4th or 5th. We could end up being 12th. I don't know. It seems to be. How's that feel about it?
I think we want to be better than last season, don't we?
What were we,
want to
7th?
improve. 7th we finished last season, which for us was an excellent season. We overachieved massively there when you look at budget and resources and things like that. So, but you always want to get better. So if 7th was the bar we want to set, then really you're looking at aiming the top 6. We've got to be realistic as to what we can do. But there's a big cluster, and it's similar to last season. There was a cluster just outside the top 4 or 5, wasn't there? We just won the wrong end. We nearly won that little mini league, didn't we? And I guess it's just being in and around that and just trying to get into that top 6. There's no playoffs or prize monies reward for finishing 5th or 6th or 7th. Ultimately, if you don't go up, then it doesn't matter where you finish. But for us, we want to see progression,
Sure.
and that's got to be the key year on year. And yeah, we're punching above our weight, but I think we're trying to do things the right way, and we've got a really good group that I think can challenge that level. So yeah, we're hoping for success, whatever you define as success, and a really positive end to the season.
Yeah, we finished this last season really strongly, didn't we? But we didn't take it into the start of this season like we talked about. So that's something maybe we need to aim for, just to finish strong and then
carry
start
that
strong,
over.
and then we could be 2 or 3 more places higher maybe this time next season. So that's
Pretty
maybe one of the aims. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. Pleasure talking. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well,